At OPTAVIA, our mission is to offer the world lifelong transformation, one healthy habit at a time. The following audio contains the personal testimonials of independent coaches and clients within the OPTAVIA community. Their results are based on the unique experiences of their journey. We cannot guarantee like or similar outcomes. We hope these stories inspire you to continue your journey with or join OPTAVIA, but please note they have not been verified and your individual journey to optimal health will vary. As always, it is our recommendation that you speak with a healthcare provider in the U.S. or a doctor in Singapore and Hong Kong prior to beginning your journey with OPTAVIA. Additionally, this audio may contain income or earning representations of some independent OPTAVIA coaches. We cannot guarantee financial success. Success with OPTAVIA is derived from successful sales efforts, which require hard work, diligence, skill, persistence, competence, and leadership. OPTAVIA acknowledges that this audio may be accessible to OPTAVIA coaches in the U.S., Hong Kong, and Singapore. For independent OPTAVIA coaches operating in the U.S., please see the OPTAVIA Income Disclosure Statement for statistics on actual earnings of U.S. coaches under the U.S. Compensation Plan. Please note that the Income Disclosure Statement only applies to independent OPTAVIA coaches operating in the U.S. under the U.S. Compensation Plan and does not in any way constitute any representations as to actual or potential accrual of benefits for Hong Kong or Singapore coaches under the International Compensation Plan. Yours in Health, the OPTAVIA team.
Moving into our inspiring stories of transformation this evening. So excited to be with you. My name is Jan Paxman. I am an independent certified OPTAVIA coach and so excited to be here. This is my family. We have 8 children, I lose count. 8 children and 9 grandchildren. And that little guy in the blue stripes right there in the front, he is the reason why I found OPTAVIA. We were blessed with him a little bit later in life. And when I found myself over 40 with a newborn, I was just like, okay, so now what? I'm struggling to get my health back in check. And I was able to find this amazing program of OPTAVIA. This picture right here to the right was taken this last weekend. Several of us in OPTAVIA, in the leadership team, we met at OPTAVIA for a weekend retreat, and it was fantastic being there, just with so many like-minded individuals that were all committed to becoming not only the best version of ourselves, but also how we can empower and serve others with what we have been given. So it was a beautiful time. We're in a situation right now where there are some challenges that we're facing in our world. We've got a lot going on, and many people are struggling with a few things. One is they really would like to find a way to get healthy. The other is they'd love to be able to find a way to stay healthy once they get healthy. They're also missing community, and that's a challenge for all of us as we have to stay socially distanced. And the other part is financially, it's a little bit of a challenge right now. People are not sure what's going on. Some have been laid off or furloughed. There's people losing their jobs, people who are wanting to have a little more control over that. If you look at this slide, worldwide obesity has nearly tripled since 1975. And this next part is really concerning. Most of the world's population live in countries where overweight and obesity kills more than underweight. That is eye-opening. And then moving on, almost a third of the adults with partners in the United States report that money is a major source of conflict in their relationship. 31%. Money is a big challenge for a lot of people. 69% of workers were stressed over their finances, with fully 72% admitting to worrying about their personal finances at work. In July 2020, rates of depression and anxiety in the US were more than triple of those in early 2019. Simple question, how are you, has turned into an emotional minefield. And that is the world we live in right now. We have challenges, and with this whole COVID situation going on, it's been wonderful to be part of a community where we band together, we're able to continue moving forward, serving people with the areas that they need help in, and provide solutions. And some of the people that I am so privileged to be working with are Paula and Dave Herald. Paula is actually the coach and Dave is her support, but they are fantastic people, and I would love for them to be able to share their story and what being part of OPTAVIA has meant for them. Paula, are you there? Paula and Dave?
Hi, Jan. How are you? Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I sure can.
Awesome. And I apologize. Dave is not with me. So as we know, life happens and our cross-country meet for our son is still going. So I am also the cross-country coach and just snuck away so I could spend some time with you all. So thanks for having me.
You bet.
So I am a independent certified OPTAVIA coach and have been since earlier this year. My husband, Dave, is a dentist in our community, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that in just a minute. Myself, I've been in healthcare for about 30 years. I had worked a number of various executive positions and spent a lot of time traveling and very long hours. Loved the work. Being in healthcare, I think we all know it is so great to be able to impact people's lives. And so it's an industry that really just calls to my heart. However, we had children a little bit later in life, and we only were blessed with one. We have Finnegan, who's 12. And so I was working very long hours on the road a ton. And last year, Dave and I decided that I needed to retire. And in my mind, I knew that after a professional working woman for 30 years, I wouldn't be able to just do that without having anything else. So we thought about my long hours and all the time that I was spending, and I really struggled with what would I be able to do next. So in my mind, I was thinking, well, I'll probably do real estate. I guess that's what people do when they take on a second career. But I also knew those are also late nights and weekends, and I didn't know if that really was going to solve the problem that I had, which is how do I spend these crucial preteen and teen years with my son and be home for them? So really sort of randomly, and I put it all to God, but it's randomly, we started to look at various ways to improve our health. And we had a good friend that was just doing OPTAVIA and seeing amazing results. And so the timing was interesting, where Dave and I also concurrently started to work last year on our health, or overall, what are we doing with our lifestyle? How do we improve our weight situation? But how do we really move that forward? And so we both fell in love with the program, really enjoyed what we were doing. And as normal in our relationship, at least, my husband said, hey, wait a second. We love the program. You want to retire. Why don't you just try coaching? It's still in the healthcare field. You're actually turning it around. And instead of coming from procedures and diagnostics and reacting to people's health, you'll be working with them in a more wellness preventive way. And wow, that just hit home for me. So early this year, started coaching, and I had just a few goals. I thought, I don't know what this is going to be. Is this really something that I can be successful at? So my goals were really focused around time. Can I retire? Can I find that time to spend with my child and my family? And all I want to do is pay for our health insurance. So I don't need a ton of money, even though it's hard giving up my professional career, but I need just enough to pay for our health insurance, since I would no longer be providing that. Obviously, my husband's a solo practitioner, and so as a self-employed person, it's hard to get health insurance around here. So I always provided that through our corporation that I worked with. So 3 months in, I met those goals, and I retired in May. It was amazingly surreal that I could actually do that, and wow, it has been such a blessing for our family. So the goals that I started with were time for our son. I am now coaching his cross-country team. I just was able to go on the middle school camp out for the couple of days and chaperone, which I never could have done before. I am covering our health insurance and a lot more. We just took a great vacation, and all of these things are thanks to my husband and I taking this leap of faith that I could try coaching and see what it would do for us. So I'm also again, there's just amazing synergies with timing. My son's school went to a 4-day week this year. And so Fridays are our days together. Not only do I get to pick him up from school every day and have those key conversations, but I'm spending time with him on Fridays. Normally I would be locked in an office working from 6 to 7 p.m. and often on weekends as well. So I cannot thank Jan and Kara and Sarah and others within our community for investing in me and helping me through this process. Had Dave been here, what he would tell you is he's a dentist here in our local community. He's owned his own practice for about 12 years. And a lot of people, as you know, when you go to the dentist, you see your dentist every 6 months or so, unless you have something active happening. And so people haven't seen him, both with COVID and then also just in their normal 6-month cycle. And they're in awe at my husband. He has just done magnificent at his overall health and weight. And people are always asking him, what is happening? What are you doing? And so he doesn't have a ton of time in the office, but he really focuses on the basics. I'm following a science-based program, and the result is increased energy and weight loss. And then he suggests that I and they have a conversation. It's been such a blessing to be able to look at his patient base. And a lot of people don't always associate dental health with physical health, and they are so connected. I don't know that I knew that before I married a dentist, but I certainly do now. And so it's been great to be able to help his patient base as well as the overall community and our friends and family. So Jana, hopefully, again, thank you for letting me share my story. I cannot thank you all enough. And I am so thrilled to be 48 and retired and spending time with my family.
Oh my goodness, that is amazing. Thank you, Paula, so much. You are centering your life around what matters most. And that is exactly what we hope for everyone. That's what we do here, is we help people center their life around what matters to them. So thank you very much for sharing. That was beautiful. We're sorry that Dave couldn't be here, but we're so happy you guys are out coaching your son's cross-country team and having a wonderful time. So thank you for being with us. So let's talk about our company, our story. We have an amazing company. It's been around since like the early 80s. Our parent company is Medifast. And Medifast is a very strong, very solid company. It's publicly traded on the New York Stock Exchange. In fact, this year, we were able to ring the bell in March just before COVID hit. And what a wonderful experience that was. We were voted one of the top 100 most trusted companies in Forbes magazine, both 2016 and 2017. And we're filled with people who are like-minded, all committed, like I mentioned earlier, to serving others, to becoming the very best people we can be, and helping others come into this community and be able to really understand what's possible for them within our model. And Dr. Wayne Scott Anderson is one of the key people within our program. He created what we call the Habits of Health Transformational System, which takes our clients one step further beyond weight loss. It takes us into the ability to create long-term results that bring people to the point where they really can trust that they can center their life around the things that matter to them, and that they're not going to be yo-yoing back and forth. The support here is so fantastic. Our motto is actually, OPTAVIA provides lifelong transformation, one healthy habit at a time. And that is what we get through that system. So there are 4 components to what we do. The first one is that everyone that takes part with OPTAVIA has a free health coach that walks alongside them through this process. And that is so beautiful when you have someone you know you can reach out to anytime for questions. It's a real live person, not just someone at the other end of an 800 number. That person also has probably gone through this before as well, and they understand what you're going through, and they can connect you with the answers. We're there to guide people along. It's a very rewarding opportunity to be a health coach. And then, as I mentioned it before, the Habits of Health Transformational System that Dr. A created is what sets us apart. It is truly unique, and it is powerful. Anyone who takes part in it knows that this is, if you are someone who has taken part in this, if you'll put a 10 in the chat of how, or maybe even something that this program has impacted your life with, that would be amazing for our guests to see. And then we have the community. Obviously, you're part of it right now. We get together every week. We have our community time and our inspiring stories to share, and we support one another. We also have Facebook groups and other ways to support through the community as we go through our programs. And then we have our fueling systems, which as as Paula mentioned, balance our blood sugar and help us to be able to get our bodies in a place where naturally they are able to reach their healthiest state. And we offer what we call the Trilogy of optimal health: healthy body, healthy mind, and healthy finances. These three areas, when they are in alignment, and you're able to, when you have those three areas in alignment and balanced, that is the sweet spot where you really can experience a fullness in life. It's where you have time freedom, you have the ability, you have the finances to be able to afford what you need, you've got the health to be able to enjoy it, and you've got those abilities within with your healthy mind as well. Because if you're lacking in your relationships or other areas of your life that are not fulfilled, you've got to have a balance there. So this program allows for all three. So the benefits of becoming an independent OPTAVIA coach, it's so powerful. When you help others move forward with their health, it makes it a lot harder for you to move backward with yours. And it is so rewarding when you see somebody else that you're assisting begin to thrive. It does something in here. I mean, it's such a sense of, like, just hearing Paula's story, even though I didn't directly coach her, she's part of our team family. I know her, coach, and I've seen her success, and it just makes your heart warm to see that she's thriving on this level now because of my choice to say yes. It's so very fun, rewarding, and the company does compensate you for serving other people in this way. And the compensation is very robust. And if that weren't, I mean, it's enough just to say that we leave a legacy. We help people change their life. And it feels so good to be able to do that. But then the financial component on top of it, it's just a total win-win situation all the way around. So we do have a progressive growth model. We start out as an OPTAVIA coach, and if you choose to grow and develop yourself and your skills and bring on partners, which is simply an option, you don't ever have to bring on coaching partners if you don't choose to. You can just simply serve people and help them as clients. But should you choose to, you can become a business coach. And with that, you are able to earn additional income because you're not only serving clients, but you're also training coaches. And that is so very rewarding because of what you'll see in these stories. Lives change when they're able to embrace the coaching aspect. And then as you bring in teams of coaches, you can create where you can become a business leader as well. So those are options that we offer. Again, this is not anything that's mandatory. You choose the pace. We have the course, you set the pace of what you want to create, but the sky is the limit. And I'd like to now bring on my next guests, Jen and Tom Brown. They are coming from Santa Clarita, California, and I'm so excited to have them here tonight. Jen has been with our family of coaches for, gosh, probably 6 years, Jen? I can't keep track, but it feels like I've known her literally forever. She is a soul sister, and I'm so grateful that she and Tom, her great support system, can be on tonight with us. Jen and Tom, are you guys there?
We are here.
Woohoo!
Thanks, Dan. Appreciate you inviting us to share a small part of our story tonight. And I'm so glad we get to follow that slide that you just showed about us because and how the coaching model works, because it truly represents what happened in our journey with our family. It started with Jennifer. So I'm going to turn it over to her to share our story.
Well, in just the few minutes that we have to share, this is what I would like to say. Family, 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 family. And I say that purposely because within our story, there are literally 4 different ways that OPTAVIA has impacted 4 different ideas of family for me. The first family I want to speak to is family history. I'm sure I'm not alone tonight when I speak of the fact that there are some habits of disease that run in my family. I personally have an amazing family legacy for which I am honored to be a part of. But as I look at past generations, I see habits of disease and I see weight struggles, blood pressure, cholesterol, cancer, diabetes, all part of my family history. I found myself a part of that path. And to be honest, I've spent most of my life yo-yo dieting, on and off every diet you can imagine, with a pretty unhealthy relationship to food. And yes, I lost weight on some of those, but I never learned the tools to keep it off. And sure enough, being diagnosed as pre-diabetic in my early 40s, I knew I was headed on a path that I did not desire, and yet I didn't know how to get off the path. Enter this life-changing program where not only did the science help me literally change the dial in my well-being, but it gave me the tools to know how to quit dieting and instead create health, lifelong transformation. I'm happy to share tonight that I have become a chain breaker to some of the habits of disease that has been passed on from generations past in my family. Sorry, I get emotional. So that brings me to my second family, my own personal family, and the family that Tom and I have created with 3 amazing children, one who is actually coaching her own friends and family alongside me. But when I was at that crossroads of my own health journey, I didn't know then, but I see clearly now that making the choice to embrace this simple program changed the course of what we are teaching our own children. One of the biggest blessings I see having come from me grabbing onto this gift is that our children got to watch their mama's health change for the better, and that the conversations in our home weren't about dieting, but instead of realizing that every day we all have choices. Our choices form our habits, and our habits form our health. If the new habits that I've created and now we are teaching and living in our own household keeps my children from battling weight-related issues of disease, my own tough journey has been well worth it. And I believe that this pivot of not just talking about the habits of health, but actually choosing to live them is amazing. You see, life is not just about having the knowledge, it's actually applying the knowledge that helps transform us. The knowledge gained, the tools given has been a blessing for our family. The third family came when I decided to pay this gift forward. I did not realize how many of my own friends and yes, family were going to bed at night, hoping and praying that there was an answer, just as I had struggled with myself. And when they started wondering what was transforming in our life, how could I not offer this gift to people? I'm not here to sell something, but I'm literally here to help transform people's lives. And when I said yes to coaching, I gained yet another family of coaches who, like me, care deeply about the health and well-being of the people in their world. I get emotional just thinking about the new family I've gained because of coaching, people and mentors who have poured into me like you, Jan, loving on me, linking arms with me to be the best version of me. The community, the family is amazing. And it sounds cliche, but you're not in business for yourself. Let me say that again. You are in business for yourself, but never by yourself. Now, I do want to say, at first, I had no desire to coach. You see, Tom had 3 jobs. I had 5 jobs. We were raising 3 children. I was definitely not looking for anything else to do. Just trust me on that one. But while both Tom and I loved the ministries we had, all related to music, and we knew we were using our gifts for which we had been called, the truth was, living in Southern California, that's simply what it took to make ends meet. And yes, our needs were met and even a few of our wants, but probably the cycle of stress and lack of any time freedom and the idea of trading time for money probably contributed to some of the habits of disease I was living at the time. But as I said, when somebody you love and care needs this gift, how could I say no? So I said yes to coaching. But only a few people. And I will interrupt my story to say, that's what Jennifer thought was happening. I'm just going to coach a few people. But I think God had a different plan for my life and for our family's life that we couldn't see back at that time. I quickly fell in love with health coaching, being a part of other people's stories of health. I loved being able to celebrate with clients their transformations, their breaking chains. And so that brings me into our fourth and final part of family. As my clients' lives started to transform, they themselves wanted to pay this gift forward to help people in the world, which brought me to that next step on the slide, Jan, that you just showed a few minutes ago. I became a business coach, linking arms with some of my own clients who became coaches, helping them know how to share this gift. Again, not for selling something, but being part of transforming lives and part of Dr. Anderson's mission to get America healthy. I was helping to birth new families with new stories and legacies to pay forward. And the gift just kept giving, which then led me into that third layer of the slide again that you were showing, becoming a business leader. Jan, you can see at each juncture of this model that is shown that we can do well by doing good for others. What I love to say is that when we put people on our bus, we're less likely to drive ours off a cliff. So whether you put a few people on your bus or a lot of people on your bus, clients, friends, family, coaches, or a team of coaches, just being on this road that has been paved by our company is what my transformational story is about tonight. Has my health journey been perfect? Absolutely not. As I've spent time in personal development and growing to be a better leader, have I led perfectly? Absolutely not. But when at the heart of what we do is to serve and love other people, you will be amazed at what is possible to create. It can be whatever you want, but for us, the Tom and Jennifer Brown family and the legacy we are now working towards creating for our future in the last 5 years of coaching, we have gone from simply surviving to thriving. And we're not done yet. We see that there is no cap on what is possible to create. Our goals and visions are clear, and we embrace the obstacles that come along our path while pursuing our best lives. We've taken vacations we never would have been able to do prior to this gift entering our life. And the memories that we've made along the way, the flexibility of working this business from any of those places around the world has come only because I am helping others create whatever is important to the families we work with every day.
Jan, we're so grateful to be part of your coaching family, and we're so grateful for the family of clients and coaches we get to partner with. And we're grateful for the huge blessing this coaching model has been for our family, both in our time freedom and our financial freedom, by simply being coachable, linking arms with those around you who want to help succeed. Along with consistent and hard work, it's absolutely possible to create a healthy body, healthy mind, and healthy finances. Thanks, Jan.
Absolutely, Tom. Thank you so much. And Jen, oh my heart, that was so beautiful how you brought it down through 4 different types of family that you're part of. And your energy is contagious. Thank you so much for being on tonight, both of you. Awesome. Well, let's just go through this really quickly as we wrap up. Jen mentioned most of this already. She did a beautiful job. So we'll just click down through here. Really, we're all in relation. We all help each other. We support one another. You can do it part-time, full-time. There's no inventory. There's no overhead. Very flexible. The hours are incredibly flexible. You choose them. If you want to grow, they're not optional, but you can do them anytime you want. There's no quotas, there's no monthly quotas or anything like that. We have wonderful support with our coaching model. We have a learning center that you go through. Your coaches will partner with you as a mentorship team, and you're an apprentice. As you learn and grow, you are earning as you're going through this process. And we also have wonderful trainings that you can take part in. A lot of times we gather physically, but now we're doing them virtually because of COVID. We've gotten really great at that, so that you get support from your community, first from your own sponsoring coach, your mentor team, and then your extended team family, plus then you move into the community beyond that. There's just so many positive things about becoming part of this mission. We really know that we can make a difference in this world. There's challenges going on in this world, but we know that we have what it takes to help serve people to be able to really understand what's possible for them, and they can thrive and enjoy their very best life. So we invite you to join our OPTAVIA mission and enjoy living that lifelong transformation, one healthy habit at a time. And there's nothing better when you help other people be able to experience that. Your life is pretty incredible too. So we are so grateful for all of you who have been with us tonight. Thank you so much for being part of our community. We hope you've enjoyed this tonight, and hope that you'll consider becoming part of our OPTAVIA family. Thank you so much. Have a great night.
At OPTAVIA, our mission is to offer the world lifelong transformation, one healthy habit at a time. The prior audio contained the personal testimonials of independent coaches and clients within the OPTAVIA community. Their results are based on the unique experiences of their journey. We cannot guarantee like or similar outcomes. We hope those stories inspire you to continue your journey with or to consider joining OPTAVIA. But please note that they have not been verified and your individual journey to optimal health will vary. As always, it is our recommendation that you speak with a healthcare provider in the US or a doctor in Singapore and Hong Kong prior to beginning your journey with OPTAVIA. Additionally, this audio may have contained income or earning representations of some independent OPTAVIA coaches. We cannot guarantee financial success. Success with OPTAVIA is derived from successful sales efforts, which require hard work, diligence, skill, persistence, competence, and leadership. OPTAVIA acknowledges that this audio may be accessible to OPTAVIA coaches in the US, Hong Kong, and Singapore. For independent OPTAVIA coaches operating in the US, please see the OPTAVIA Income Disclosure Statement for statistics on actual earnings of US coaches under the US Compensation Plan. Please note that the Income Disclosure Statement only applies to independent OPTAVIA coaches operating in the US under the US Compensation Plan and does not in any way constitute any representations as to actual or potential accrual of benefits for Hong Kong or Singapore coaches under the International Compensation Plan. Yours in health, the OPTAVIA team.